Hello class, this is Scott Caruso here to talk to you about my week 3 project in MiU 1206. Another pretty good week, I thought. What really went well for me was a situation that occurred yesterday, Wednesday. I was talking to Robin over iChat, and we're trying to figure out a way to make my news stream look a little bit better and make it more obvious what it was doing. And she had suggested surfacing the IDs of the cards in my app, the Magic the Gathering cards, in such a way that tells you that you're looking at card X of the total. And I went in there and I discovered that I was able to code that in about 5 minutes, which was awesome. And I was able to so quickly figure out how I needed to do that. It really shows that to me anyway, that I'm coming along quite nicely. What didn't go so well this week, and it's a problem that I've run into in the past. It kind of also ties into how this relates to previous work and experiences. Is that I tend to veer down paths that distract me from what I'm trying to get done. So, for instance, there's a set of deliverables, a set of requirements that we need to meet in order to fulfill the assignment. But then I get bogged down with trying to fix a bug here or make a feature over here work that doesn't necessarily tie in to the main purpose of the project we're working on. I get so wrapped up in trying to figure those things out that my projects are taking me so much longer because I'm not actually finishing up the requirements until the very end. And I really need to do a better job of focusing myself on hitting the requirements first, and then going back and fixing bugs and adding other new cool functionality that I like. I get so distracted sometimes, and it's frustrating. Um, how I feel like this can apply to future experiences, future life. Again, it kind of goes back to what I just said. I really need to make sure that I go into these projects with a plan of attack. And it's like that in work as well. I need to be organized and I need to make sure that I stay focused. Because multitasking, I've read a lot of studies on this. Multitasking really is a myth. People can't really multitask. Your productivity plummets when you try to do multiple things at once and try to focus on multiple things at once. So I really need to make sure I stay focused on the things that are most important, the requirements. In this, on this project, it's the requirements that the teacher set out, but in a business setting, it would be requirements that a vendor or a client has said that they want their application to meet. So I need to focus on those things first before the cool stuff that I want to add later or the bugs that I want to fix. Um, so with that being said, let's take a look at what I've done this week. All right, so let's take a look at the gold and bronze apps. Gold on the left, bronze on the right, and we'll go straight to the add card form on both, since we got a lot to discuss here. As you can see, I've got a number of field labels, including a little control here with the asterisk to indicate which ones are required as the user's going through. And a few defaults here. Placeholder to tell the user to enter a name. Currently in use, defaults to no, because users will be, generally speaking anyway, adding cards as they acquire them, which means they're not likely in active decks yet. So I defaulted that one to no. It toggles to yes. Card type defaults to creature. The field has been alphabetized to be a little more user-friendly, but because creature cards are 5 times more prevalent than other types of cards, I'm having card type default to creature. There's actually statistics to back that up. I didn't just make that number up, I swear. Mana cost, in a similar fashion, defaults to 3, which statistically is the most common mana cost, but by a much smaller margin to card type. It minimizes at 0, maximizes at 20, which are actually the min and max mana costs that are out there right now. Card colors has no default because there's not enough data to support checking one of these off as opposed to the others, but I do make sure to provide the user with an extra bit of feedback that he should select all of the colors associated with this card. Some of the secondary details, comments about the card that you can add, and a number that you need to enter. And you see the done button at the bottom is right in line with everything else, with the reset button to the right of that in a much more ambiguous fashion. If we go to submit, and we'll do the same thing on my bronze app, you will see that you get inline bold red text to tell you to ensure that you filled the fields out that need to be filled out. So we'll give the card a name, and we will attach a couple of colors to it and enter a number. So that one's done. We'll submit there. We'll come over here, and we'll also enter a card name here. You see the much less user-friendly, but also easy to find error message at the top here. The difference being the user actually needs to seek out the field that he needs to take care of from here. We will submit this card info. Test card has been added. Now if we go to the display data page here, you'll see test card at the top. We go to our recent cards here. Test card has been added. Edit and delete both work at the moment. That's the bulk of the work that was done here in week 3. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I look forward to talking to you again in week 4. Thank you very much.